Greetings, everyone. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, as we always do, just want to make a couple of announcements. Number one, Sierra Leone. I will be in Sierra Leone next week. I am bringing a group of people with me for the In Search of Uhuru tour. The Africa is My Therapy tour in Sierra Leone. We're going to be celebrating the 60th year anniversary of independence of Sierra Leone. So we're going to be celebrating that. Looking forward to it. Also, have about 3 people who are part of the group. It's going to be about 17 of us who should be receiving their citizenship. So we're going to be celebrating that. So shout out to Sierra Leone for creating a pathway for citizenship for those of the diaspora. Next tour is coming up in August to Nigeria. So if you'd like to roll to Nigeria with us, August 16th to the 22nd, hit me up, go to dynastymurder.com and send me a message. And then we're going to do another tour to Sierra Leone in November. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. We have special guests with us today. We're going to be discussing how the diaspora can own property in the Gambia. You know, the Gambia has been very popular lately in regards to the diaspora relocating, in regards to it being a option for relocation for the diaspora. So we're going to go into details in regards to how you can you own property, number one, as a foreigner. How's the process in regards to acquiring property? The system here in the West, you're able to put down a small amount of money um, and take on a mortgage. Is that possible in the Gambia? What kind of properties are out there? Is it lease? Is it ownership? I mean, is it lease or is it leasehold? Is it freehold? So we're gonna address all of those questions. So without further ado, we have Mr. Cisse on with us today, and Mr. Abubakar on with us today as well. And that's where, if you two could introduce yourselves, we'll start with you, Mr. Cisse.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Lahaji Sise, Divisional Head Retail Banking, Guaranty Trust Bank.
Well, can you repeat the last statement you made as far as which company you're with, so people can hear you a little more
Guaranty
clearly?
Trust Bank, Gambia Limited.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Abubakar, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Abubakar Bensouda. I'm the managing director of Blue Ocean Properties, a property development company in the Gambia.
Okay. All right, so we will jump right into it. And also, we want this to be interactive. So those who are in the chat room, if you have any specific questions, by all means, place your question in the chat room, and we will ask. Also, make sure you guys visit oneafricaproperties.com, oneafricaproperties.com. And what we're doing, we're streamlining the process in regards to property ownership in the continent for the diaspora. So please visit oneafricaproperties.com. So, Mr. Abubakar, we'll jump right into it. For those in the diaspora who are interested in acquiring property in the Gambia, we'll start off with, can they own outright freehold property in the Gambia for those who are not citizens of?
As of now, freehold doesn't really exist other than the capital. Most of the properties in Gambia at the moment are being offered as either a leasehold or a customary tenure. So a leasehold pretty much means you lease it from the government for a period of 99 years. Or for instance, if you're buying it from a developer, he gives you the unexpired years and his lease, he transfers that to you. So for instance, if I had a property and I've had it for 20 years, I transfer 79 years to the client. Customary tenure is pretty much unregistered land where the local authorities give you title of the land. But for Blue Ocean, all the properties that we sell are sold as freeholds to the client.
Now, how does that work at the end of the lease? This is where, because Ghana has somewhat of a similar process. So
it's all based on the British system.
It makes sense. So
yeah,
at the end of the lease, so I acquire a property, there's 70 years on the lease.
Yeah.
After that 70 years, what happens?
You extend it. You apply for an extension. Most of the leaseholds in Gambia have started around 1991, if I'm not mistaken. So I've not really come across an application for an extension. I've not personally handled one before, but the way it works is you apply to the Ministry of Lands and they extend the lease for another 99 years for you.
Okay. Now, if you've passed away, this is something that your descendants or your what's the word I want to use? The people who would inherit I guess the land, that's something they would have to handle?
Yes, whoever's alive at the time of the expiration. I mean, 99 years, I'm sure we will all be gone by then.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, Mr. Cisse, so another question people will have is in regards to financing. That's been a very common question. Can I finance my property in the Gambia? Are there any financing options?
Yes, there was. Before the COVID, the person will have to bring in an equity contribution. The bank will also borrow the started part from the bank, and then yes, it will be able to pay for the mortgage.
And how do the terms work?
The maximum tenure is 10 years currently.
Okay, and then as far as interest rates, how do you guys base the interest rates off of?
Yeah, interest rates in this part of the world is quite high. If it is foreign currency, we are at 9%.
Okay, I've heard in Nigeria, I've heard 16 to 20. So
on foreign currencies.
Yeah.
What Mr. Cisse is saying, if you're borrowing at the local currency at the dollar, it should be around the same rate as Nigeria.
Yes.
But if you're borrowing in pounds, dollars, or euros, it's 9%.
Okay, got you. Okay.
There's an equity contribution. So the bank will not finance all of the property for you. You finance 25%, and the bank finances 75% for you over a period of 10 years.
That's still not bad. I mean, if you
no.
It's not bad at all.
The one that we did before was the bank financed 60% and the person contributed 40%. And now we are, even because of the COVID, we have seen some defaults coming in. So we are, even if we are going to that game, the customer has to provide 60% and then the bank will finance 40%.
Okay. I mean, that's still not that bad for those who are trying to finance. Is there a as far as the maximum amount that you can lend? Is there a number, or like if I wanted $1 million home, as long as I came to the table with $600,000 with the bank, finance the other 400?
Yeah, that has to depend on your financial capability, your cash flow. You have to provide us the proof of your income, how much you earn and how much is your outgoings. So we have to do a cash flow analysis to be able to ascertain whether you can finance that borrowing.
Okay. Now, as far as that, now in Gambia, you guys don't do credit checks, do you? Like here in America, like you have to have a credit score. Like, do you guys do that in the Gambia at all, or no?
No. What we do credit reference. We don't have a credit scoring system as in the West. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Abubakar, why the Gambia? Like, why the Gambia?
Gambia, property in Gambia is still relatively less expensive than neighboring countries. For instance, I'm in Dakar and property here is just through the roof. The amount of for your dollars in Gambia goes a long, long way further than Dakar, Accra, Lagos. I mean, you've been all over, you can compare the prices. And Gambia is pretty much still uncommercialized. So if you're looking for a quiet retirement or a quiet relocation, Gambia is the place to buy property. And again, property prices are relatively inexpensive compared to other African countries. And the time as well, I think it's a 7 or 8 hour flight from the US. From Gambia, you can get to Senegal in 20 minutes. You can get to Ghana in about 2 hours. So the location's quite good as well.
Now, so somebody in the chat room, and this always comes up, this experience, I guess. A lot of people from the diaspora have had a bad experience with acquiring land in Africa, in regards to people selling selling the land to multiple different people. Well, how do you avoid all that?
Just to cut you, we don't sell land. We only sell built properties. We can't sell a plot of land to you. We sell a house to you. Yeah, so generally, I think the mistake that a lot of people make is they buy land without the proper due diligence. I mean, when you come to Africa, don't do what you wouldn't do in the US. I mean, in the US, you wouldn't buy property without a lawyer or without some sort of proof and checks. I mean, just because you're coming to Africa, you shouldn't throw all caution to the wind and feel like, look, I know this guy, I trust him, so I'm just going to buy land from him. It doesn't work that way. Just don't do whatever you wouldn't do in the US or back home.
It's funny you brought that up because, you know, it's the same process we do here in America as far as title check, lawyer, getting the right properties of right parties involved. A lot of people want to skip that because and just want to buy the land off the
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, you will always just get your fingers burnt. If you come, make sure you have a lawyer, make sure you have a reputable lawyer. And when you're buying the property, make sure the lawyer is involved in all the processes. Because some checks and some due diligence on who actually owns the land, the title that they have, is it the correct title? Is the land in court and whatnot? Only a lawyer can do all that due diligence for you and tell you, Dinas, go ahead and purchase the property. And they also are a part of the purchase. I mean, there's sale agreements that the lawyers have, either the seller's lawyer or the buyer's lawyer, have to make and go through. And even the transfer of title, we call it a conveyance, is prepared by a lawyer. And once we prepare a conveyance to you, your lawyer has to go over and make sure everything is fine before you actually pay the money. So paying the money is actually one of the last stages. I mean, you don't pay the money and then try to go do the paperwork.
Right. So guys, just make sure you have your lawyer in place and have the right parties in place before you buy property. And that's anywhere on the planet.
That's anywhere in the world. However you would buy property in the US, that same mindset is what you should come with. I mean, in the US, you wouldn't just go buy without lawyers involved and whatnot. That same mindset is what you should come with to the Gambia or wherever you're buying property from.
Now, Mr. C said, what exactly are you guys looking for? So if I show up to Gambia, I know you mentioned proof of income and other documents you guys look for in regards to approving people for loans for property. What specifically should one have who's traveling, who's relocating from the diaspora to the Gambia? What should they have already in place before they show up to your bank to apply for a loan?
Okay, the first thing is that first of all, you have to have an account with us. You need to maintain an account with us. You can open an account whilst you are in the diaspora. All you need to do is just to provide us with your email address, and we will send you the necessary forms. All that is required is one, your international passport, valid one, notarized. Your tax identification number, which is obtained in the Gambia. A passport photo of yourself, a utility bill as a proof of address. Those are the things that you require to open an account.
Now, you said utility bill. Does the utility bill have to be utilities that you have in the Gambia or here in America?
No, in America, because that's where you are residing.
Okay. So it's possible for the diaspora to open up bank accounts in Gambia without physically being in the Gambia or living in the Gambia, or am I right or wrong?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's another conversation we could have, because I know there's a lot of people in the diaspora who are looking to want to open up bank accounts in the on the continent, but you know, some places won't allow you to do it. I know Nigeria, you pretty much can't. You have to be a resident, or at least a resident or on the ground in Nigeria. But I mean, there's a way where you can open up a bank account and be in the diaspora in the Gambia. I mean, I think a lot of people are interested, will definitely be interested. Mr. Abubakar, can you tell us more about Blue Ocean Properties?
Yes, sir. We started operation in 2012. So we're currently in our 9 years. So initially we had started selling land. Then in 2015, we went actually developing. So we've done about 75 built houses up to now, and we've done 20 apartments. So all in all, about 95 units. And so currently we're just wrapping up our 5th estate, which is called Bluebird. It consists of 21 houses, and we have started Heritage, which is 36 villas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. I was actually, what I was doing, I was pulling up the One Africa site so people could look at the different look at some of the different properties that are listed. Now, like the heritage community.
Yeah.
I know it's currently, in fact, let me go ahead and share the screen. Let me share the screen real quick. Here we go. Someone's asking, Mr. Cisse, is there a minimum or max amount that needs to be in the account needs to be deposited for the account?
Yeah, for foreign currency accounts, you need to have $1,000 or 1,000 pounds or 1,000 euros, and the person must have a euro dollars account.
Okay. All right, guys. So I want to pull up some of the properties. So here we have Heritage, which is one of your properties. Now it's when will the project be completed, roughly?
We're looking at 2 years from May.
Okay, 2 years from May.
That would be May in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you're able to put down and acquire the property now?
Yes, you're able to buy a plan. So at the moment, we're putting in the services, that's the roads and the electricity. Then physical construction of the buildings is scheduled to start end of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so end of this month?
That's when we're actually starting to construct the house. So at the moment, I mean, when you're doing an estate, the first thing that you need to put in are the roads, the electricity, and the water, because obviously you need the water to start construction. So that's what we're doing now. Yeah.
Now, so why would you recommend someone who's coming to the Gambia?
Yeah.
You know, Banjul is pretty popular. Are there any other areas that people should take a look at?
So most of my clients generally want to follow the coastline. So pretty much in the Gambia, I'm not sure how familiar your listeners are with the Gambia. We have the coastal road, which we have a road called the coastal road, which is actually just built along the Atlantic Ocean. So land around that area is quite popular. So you're looking at Fajara, Kololi, Burfoot, Tranquil, Bigelow, Bruceville. So Heritage is actually being built in Burfoot. It's about 800 to 900 meters to the ocean, pretty much a 10-minute walk.
Now, Heritage. What made you come up with the name Heritage Properties?
When we were over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of clients that came to us from the US asking for, because we usually do bungalows, holiday homes. So these are houses that are about 135 square meters. So over the last 1 or 2 years, we've had a lot of American clients wanting something bigger. And a lot of them saying, look, they want to move to the Gambia because they feel that they're coming back home. This is their culture. This is their heritage. So that got us thinking to put a product together and naming Heritage as a way of saying to our clients, look, this is your home. This is your home. This is a community that we are building for you guys. So that's why we call it the Heritage Community.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button as you come to the chat room. Again, please hit that like button as you come into the chat room. And we're trying to cover all questions that are in the chat room. Lotus Rose says, Blue Ocean has great customer service from personal experience. Thank you. The names are relevant. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Let's see what else we have here in the chat room. Oh, property taxes.
Yeah.
Can you go over that? Can you explain that?
Okay, so there are two taxes involved when you're buying property. The first tax is the capital gains that the developer pays. The second one is the stamp duty, which the client pays. So the stamp duty is about 2% of the property value. So for instance, if you're buying a house that's worth $100,000, you pay $2,000 as stamp duty. And on top of the taxes, you do pay lawyer fees to do the conveyance, and you pay a registration fee, which it comes out to about $50. So those are all the costs that are involved in buying a property in the Gambia. It's the stamp duty, the lawyer's fees, and the registration of the assignment.
Now, for those who are thinking about acquiring a home and renting it out or Airbnb-ing it, are those? Is there opportunities to do that as well?
Yes, we do also offer that service. We can get clients to rent it out for you, and if you want to Airbnb it, obviously you can do that. Just have your own profile on Airbnb. But as well, we do rentals. We have some of our own rental properties, and if clients that have purchased houses from us are interested in renting, this is a service that Blue Ocean can do for them.
Okay. Now, housing prices or values or appreciation.
Yeah.
Is land in Gambia, is it land over Africa is going up. Is land in Gambia appreciating, going up?
Appreciating quickly. Let me give you an example. In 2003, there was this project called the Burford Heights project. It was actually it was a government project. It had created, I think, about 50 lots of land of 50 by 30. That's about 1,500 square meters, and they were selling it for about 300,000 in those days. That was around $10,000. Currently, people are selling it for $300,000.
How much?
$300,000. For beachfront, 6 meters.
All right, and then
You can just
another
Google
question:
it.
do you renovate existing properties?
And they can have an idea.
I think you were going in and out a little bit. Can you repeat that one more time?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. Go ahead. Do you renovate existing properties?
No, we don't.
You don't? Okay.
No.
All right, Mr. Sisse, what for those who are not interested in, they're like, look, I just want to invest in America. I just want to buy land and real estate in America. I'm not worried about Africa. What would you tell them?
Was that for me or Mr. Sisse?
Mr. Sisse. Mr. Sisse, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
You're talking about people who are not interested in buying land in the Gambia, they want to stay in America.
Well, we'll say people who are in America currently who do not want to look at opportunities in Africa to acquire real estate. What would you tell them?
I would tell them that they are missing a lot because if you look at Africa, especially Gambia in particular, the most peaceful and friendly environment for people to relax and retire in. There are a lot of opportunities in terms of cost of living is very cheap in here, and it's a good place to retire. That's what I will tell them, and it's a good place for holiday. Clean beaches, hospitable people. That's all, and the cost of living is very low compared to America.
Okay. Yeah, somebody's in the chat. I think we already covered this, but Mr. Abubakar, maybe you could go over it again because I think this part is very important.
Okay.
So you cannot own, even if you're a citizen, you still have to lease land in the Gambia. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There are freehold lands, but that only exists in the capital. So that was land that was registered during the colonial period before we had independence. After we had independence in 1965, all the land that was available was either a leasehold or freehold, if I'm not mistaken. So the freehold only exists in the capital city in Banjul, but all the land transactions, all the property transactions I've ever been involved in, it's either a leasehold or a customer retention. I mean, a leasehold means you own it, but the title is given to you for a 99-year period. So a freehold pretty much means that you own it outright. There are no land rent charges or no other expenses or any time duration on the ownership.
Okay. Someone in the chat room is asking, what are the ways one can obtain long-term residency and eventual citizenship in the Gambia? And does owning investment property provide for expedited residency or citizenship?
I wouldn't want to answer the question because I'm not too sure. But I think after you stay for a couple of months, you can apply for a multi-year residency. But that I can find out, but I'm not in a position at the moment to answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's speaking about but again, the majority of land disputes that happen in Africa, especially with dealing with the diaspora, it's unfortunately our diaspora brothers and sisters not doing their complete due diligence when it comes to acquiring land. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
You gotta do your complete due diligence when acquiring your land, as far as getting your lawyers involved. And when I say lawyer, I would say another, not your homeboy or homegirl, or you're buying the land from somebody who happens to be a lawyer. Like, get your own lawyer.
Get a proper lawyer, somebody that's registered with the Gambia Bar Association, a reputable lawyer.
Right.
And make sure they do the due diligence. I mean, my rule of thumb for any visitor to the Gambia: don't do what you wouldn't do in the US. I mean, just don't do what you wouldn't do in the US. I mean, all the precautions, all the safety requirements that is involved in buying a property in the US or wherever you're coming from, apply those same measures when you're buying property in the Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, or wherever.
Okay. How much would a 3-bedroom home in Heritage be able to rent for, and what are the common expenses?
Regarding what you could be able to rent for, we are doing apartments not too far, because Heritage is not yet completed. So the apartments like 500 meters away from Heritage, we're putting them on for $85 a night and $100 a night.
Okay.
For Heritage, we could match the same. We're confident. And those are 2-bedroom apartments, and Heritage is 3-bedroom villas. The expenses, if you want Blue Ocean to get tenants for you, there's a fee of 5% we charge of the first year's rent. So, for instance, if you got your client that signed a rental agreement for you for 5 years, the amount you pay to Blue Ocean is just 5% of the first year's rent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see any other questions in the chat room. And guys, make sure you hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, go to oneafricaproperties.com. Oneafricaproperties.com, your central source for real estate on the continent. Again, your central source for real estate on the continent. We are adding properties every day, so please check out our updated inventory. Again, please check out our updated inventory, everyone. Mr. Cisse, so here in America, cryptocurrency is blowing up. Now, in the Gambia, if somebody came to you and said, look, I want to finance a home, but my down payment, I want to make it in Bitcoin or Ethereum or some crypto, is that possible?
No.
I can answer that one for you. No.
You said no.
Yes, I said no to that.
It's just the future, man. I mean, it's the future.
It has not been this Gambia yet.
Okay. Okay, so guys, you got to convert your crypto to the lassies or pounds.
Something that our central bank would accept.
Right, then you'll be good. But I'm pretty sure in the future somebody can pay for their home.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
What was that?
Said we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. What else is there for people who haven't been to the Gambia? Like, what is there to do? Now, I've been to the Gambia twice, but for those who are interested in coming, like, what is there for them to do? What can they expect? What's coming down the pipeline?
Well, apart from our beautiful beaches, it has a vibrant nightlife. It has a lot of sites as well, UNESCO sites that were part of our unfortunate shared history of slavery. We actually call that the Heritage Belt. So along the mouth of the river, you have Fort Bullen. This was a fort that the British built to prevent slave traders from coming in. And further down the river, there's James Island. I'm not sure whether your viewers and listeners are aware of Kunta Kinte. That's where Kunta Kinte came from.
I've been.
Yeah, and we have Makati as well. Makati Island was an island that the British at the time used to enslave people and kept them for years on end. So that whole belt along the northern part of the river, it's called the Heritage Belt. So it's actually a beautiful place to go visit. We do have a lot of beautiful hotels that you could go out for meals, beautiful restaurants as well. And you could go jet skiing on the beach. You could go quad biking on the beach and sightseeing. And as well, Senegal is 20 minutes by flight. and Dakar is 4 hours by road. So you can also visit Dakar, Senegal, and have a look at what they have to offer. And there's a zoo as well, just across the border. I mean, 10 minutes from the border called Fatala. You could go for a walk with lions. In Gambia as well, we have Abubakar Nature Reserve and Kachikali, where you could go look at crocodiles and hyenas. Yeah, so these are just a few of what Gambia has to offer. And generally, real estate-wise, your money goes a long, long way obviously compared to the US and other African countries as well. And property in Gambia seems to be appreciating really quickly.
Right. I've actually been to. I've actually took the route from Gambia to Senegal. So you have to take a ferry, a boat.
Yes, you either take a ferry or you could go by the bridge. So there's a Senegambia bridge. I mean, it's an extra 1 or 2 hours to your journey, but there's no waiting for the ferry, so you can just come and cross. And
you just made a great point. There's no waiting for the ferry. So yeah, there's no waiting for the. You're right. So you kind of make up that time.
Flights. I mean, sometimes people catch flights in Dakar, so they just drive to Dakar, catch their flight to wherever they're going from. So it's a quick journey. A quick journey.
Yeah, somebody said visit Casamance. I still need to visit Casamance.
Yes, Casamance as well. Casamance is on the southern part of Gambia. So Gambia pretty much divides Senegal into two. So Dakar is to the north and Casamance is to the south. Casamance as well is a place that's coming up. Beautiful hotels are coming there. There's a Club Med. I'm not sure whether you are familiar with Club Med. And there's a lot of African Americans as well that are settling in Casamance.
Casamance is nice.
Yeah.
So
it's quite uncommercialized as well. No noise, no crime, no disturbance. I mean, your stereotypical Africa, you wake up to birds singing. So it's quite nice. It's uncommercialized and not a lot of city problems that you have or big town problems that you have.
And one more time, Mr. Cisse, can you explain to those how they can open up a bank account from America?
Okay, all you need to do for us is to send us your email address, and we'll send the necessary account opening forms. Those account forms, once you fill them, you need to provide your international passport copies, notarized, one passport size photo of yourself, a utility bill as a proof of address, and then we'll provide tax identification number for you in the Gambia here. Though you are not a resident here, but every account, as per central bank regulation, must have a TIN certificate.
And guys, I forgot to do this from the beginning of the video. Please forgive me. I have to give a disclaimer. We're not giving financial advice. Again, invest at your own risk. Everyone, invest at your own risk. I just have to give that disclaimer. I should have did that at the beginning of the video, but you have it now. Invest at your own risk. We're not giving a financial advice. Again, invest at your own risk. What else do we have here in the chat room? I think that's it. We pretty much covered everything. And guys, if you're interested in land or if you're interested in real estate in the Gambia, please visit oneafricaproperties.com. Again, please visit oneafricaproperties.com. Mr. Cisse, anything else you'd like to share in closing?
Well, thank you very much for having us on your forum. We appreciate it, and we feel very honored to be part of this. We thank Blue Ocean, who has been our lifelong partners. We have been doing business together for a while. They are one of our trusted customers. And anybody who wants to open an account, you can simply send an email to my email, which is with you, alhaji.cc@gtbank.com. Or you can send an inquiry to GTBank, www.gtbankgambia.com.
Okay, Ms. Townsend wants to know, does your beneficiary have to be on the 99-year lease for if something were to happen for them to, I guess, renew it?
No, because if something were to happen to you, your family, as I'd imagine, would come and show proof of that they are a family, and it all goes through a lawyer. If you don't have a will, it has to go through a lawyer, and they'll sort out who inherits. But your beneficiary doesn't, unless if they're a child, you can be in trust of the child until they reach the age of 18. But all the leases that we've done, we don't put beneficiaries there as standard. And I mean, if you've requested it, I'm sure this is something that lawyers can have a look at to see the legality of adding a beneficiary on the lease.
Okay.
Did you get that?
I got that.
Yeah, okay.
You got that. So yeah, Miss Townsend said she got it. So Mr. Abubakar, go ahead. Anything else you'd like to share in closing?
Yeah, I mean, Gambia is it's a up and coming destination for people that are repatriating or people that are moving. Like I said, property prices are still low compared to other African countries, and we'd encourage everybody to visit our website www.blueocean.gm, www.blueocean.gm, one word, to see what we have to offer. And there's an inquiry space where you can send, and a member of my staff will get back to you regarding any questions that you have. And thank you again, One Africa, for giving us this opportunity to put us out there.
Oh, no problem. We're partners. So thank you for coming on. King Justice, thank you for the super chat. With that being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you visit oneafricaproperties.com. Again, please visit oneafricaproperties.com. Until next time, Dynasty Mir with One Africa Properties. Search for Uhuru. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.